views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of its host, Urban Arts Enterprises, its advertisers, or affiliates, and are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent. What up, y'all? You know what time it is. It's 7 o'clock on a Tuesday, and it's time to get it in, because this is Inside Stepping. And let me remind you that Inside Stepping is the show that is dedicated strictly to steppers and what steppers care about. Now, it's a shame that I actually have to add that little caveat, but I'm finding that lately there are a lot of things going on, and we're going to discuss some of that stuff tonight. Hello, Nita 730. How you doing this evening? I'm glad you're checking in. Thank you for coming through. Kenneth Wynn is in the building. Hey, Val, I see you. Regina Dean's in the house. Look here, y'all. Tonight, we just going to talk. We're just going to have a little talk, because I'm not really in the mood for anything too serious today. Wise Cat, that my girl is. Jerome Cook, I see you coming through. And we just going to kick it a little bit. Chalk is in the building. What's happening, Chalk James? Dennis Howard Hodges, my man out there in San Diego. Pastor D, y'all. Blondina Dooley, what's up? What's up? All my folks coming through. Hey, Vonda Powell. There go my girl right there. You know, I think arguably Vonda Powell is probably my number one fan. Vonda, we love you. Yep. We're gonna have a Arjanelle Anderson. I see you. Thank you for coming. Okay, somebody said microphone volume. Is it down low? Is that better? How's that? Let me get it turned up here. Make sure y'all can hear me. Hear me well. Okay. So anyway, we love everyone. I didn't say we didn't love everyone. Close my door. Yeah, close my door. Y'all know I got to deal with crazy people. Gerald Daly. Wow. What's happening, family? Brian Jeffries in the building. So look, y'all, we just going to kick it a little bit tonight. First chapter, The Breakdown, Treehouse. My man Tree is in the building. What's up, homie? That family there. Sandra Davis, what's up? What's up? So y'all, we just going to have a little candid conversation. Tell me this, y'all, this is audience participation, y'all. Dennis Moore, what's up, homie? Man, it's been a minute. We got to get together, fam. I ain't seen you in a minute. My man all the way out there in L.A. Y'all, I want y'all to tell me tonight we're going to do, this is an audience participation show. And if you feel the need, you can call me on Messenger. But peep game, y'all. I got a couple of topics that I want to address tonight. The first one is, what are we leaving behind? DJ Fly Diva in the building. What's up, girl? What are we going to leave behind for 2023? Y'all know what it is when we out here on this stepper set and we see all of these different things that are going on. Hey, Jamaica Jackson, around us, and the things that we've seen for the past year, the last, few years or whatever. Now, I've been saying this, and I actually had a phone call today where I discussed this particular topic. We talked about the changing climate of stepping. A lot of things seem to be moving in a lot of different directions. I hesitate to use the word evolve because I don't know so much about things evolving as things do change and people's attitudes change and people's way of doing things do change. However, the dance itself doesn't need any changing. The dance is good the way that it was, the way that it is being done now, which now y'all, and y'all can get mad at me, I don't care. Sandra Mason, how you doing? I'm gonna just tell you like this. What we're watching now, I call it neo-stepping. Because stepping itself is, this has become a watered down version of what I am familiar with as far as stepping is concerned. Eric Onassis was happening. And Benice Newsom Short, I see you. Where we are now is fine because it is the dance itself has become available to everyone. And I like the fact that people who are not necessarily dancers are now more able to participate and enjoy this dance, and we can all do it as a collective community. I like that. However, I think one of the things that I'm, Will, what's up, my man? One of the things that I'm looking at is what are the things that you saw in the last year, say, for example, that you figure, or not, we don't even have to say last year. What would you like to not see moving forward in this dance? My man, Pretty Ricky Goddard is in the building. What's up, Shanette Haywood Venezi? And my Shanette, and my homie right there. What are the things that you would like to not see? Like, what can we go without? Now, I'm going to start. Sandra Davis, y'all, that's right. Y'all got bad weather out there. Yeah, safe travels and be safe out there on that East Coast and up north. Y'all are getting hit pretty hard with this bad weather. So I want everybody to be safe and stay warm, especially. I'm going to start this discussion by telling y'all what I would like to see left in the past. Now, many of you know that I am fairly new to my DJ journey. And in doing so, I've learned an awful lot from some of the most celebrated DJs in our genre of dance. And they have been very instrumental in helping me to develop myself as a reputable DJ. And I've been fortunate enough that I've built very good relationships and I've been able to play a lot of really great sets. And I'm thankful for that. However, I want to say this. What I want to see left in 2023 is the music argument. The argument where people say, well, we don't want to, the complaint is that we don't want to hear the same music. I've heard that repeatedly. And that is a great, that's a great idea. Excuse me, guys. Kenneth Wynn says, walking in between dancers. Yeah, that's a good one. But Kenneth Wynn, I have to say that I'm guilty because I had that camera and sometimes I walk on the floor to get them good shots. So you might be talking about me. But anyway, I know what you mean. People just walking around. But what I'm saying is that what I would like to see the argument left behind in terms of the music. I want to give you food for thought in that regard. Keep in mind that when we are dancing, hey, Karen Nichols, the responsibility for what gets played in terms of music is on the DJ. If you're hearing the same music being played, it's not the music itself. Keep in mind that there is a plethora of music available to play at a stepper set. Louisa Lowe, hey, Africa, I see you, baby. Amazing Yes is in the building. Beamer Johnson, how you doing, doll? Louisa Lowe, I see you. Yep. Darlene Bridges, how you doing? There is so much music to be played at any given time. And literally, this is what I've learned. Now, I've always had a pretty extensive library of music when it comes to just being a stepper, because I've been around this all my life. And I know the songs, I know the vibe, I know the essence of the dance. Lonnie Gayton in the house. But I also understand that, and just to prove a point, last week, well, New Year's Eve weekend, myself and Pony Mac played the Clarks Vegas Steppers New Year's Eve set in Clarksville, Tennessee. And we were the only two DJs for 3 days. We played 2-day sets and 3 night sets? 2-day sets? I can't even remember anymore. Anyway, point is this. I played the first day set, which was on Saturday. It was the mall party. I hit my audience with nothing but straight bangers, back to back to back to back. They was kind of getting mad at me because they wanted to sit down. I wouldn't let them. Anyway, then I opened up for the evening set. Played about an hour or two in that. Now, I played that mall set. I played for 6 hours. 5, 6 hours. opened up 2 hours for the night set. Pony Mac came in behind me and finished up. Pony Mac got up and played the whole day set the following day, 4.5 hours. And then I opened for the night set, the New Year's Eve party that night, and he played the rest of that night set. Now, I want you to understand something. Between the two of us, the only reason you heard one or two of the same songs a couple of times between the 2 days was because they are the super bangers that are happening right now, the songs that everybody wants to hear. That's the only reason we played them more than once. There really is no argument when it comes to this music, and that's the part we need to get away from, the divisions that come to pass in our community that are really non-arguments. And here's what I mean. This music is forever. The music is, of course, the soundtrack to all of our lives. We hear things that we have that remind us of times and places in our life. And that's always a good thing. But we also have to remember that there is plenty of music to be played, and no one would know the difference. It's just that people get caught in these ruts. And here's the truth. A lot of these DJs that are playing these sets, they're simply not the best DJs. I mean, let's face it, y'all. You got guys out here, they play a whole bunch of mixes. Now, and I'm not trying to step on nobody's toes. Everybody play what they play. And apparently somebody like them because they keep hiring them. But the fact is, I don't like playing a lot of mixes. Why? Because anybody can play a mix. Can you mix on the fly? That's the question. Then at the same time, some of this music does not need to be mixed. Some of this music needs to be left in its purest form. There is, and people try to act like this, adding hip hop to the steppers music is new. It's not new. That was happening back in the 90s. I got receipts on that. I got video way back I'm talking 90, where a little bit of hip hop was mixed into the music back then. So this is not some type of new phenomenon. It's only new because some people are new at this. The fact is, a good DJ understands what his audience wants. A good DJ plays to his crowd. No, you are not going to please everyone. You're just not. Not gonna happen. Africa, you wanted to know what songs they were. I'll just give you one specific one, and to be honest with you, it's burning out, and that would be Mulholland Drive. Everybody loves Mulholland Drive. I don't care how terrible or great a DJ you are. You put on Mulholland Drive, your floor is gonna get packed. That is what we refer to as a safe song. There are others. There are a couple of others that are hot right now. Remember when Mrs. Jones, the mix was hot. There are songs that they have their time. There are mixes that have their time. Right. I Won't Back Down. That's another one. Thank you, Africa. Absolutely. It's like you have these particular songs that right now they're hot, and they're going to be hot, and you have to give your audience those staples, while at the same time understanding how to continue to tell that story in your music without boring people and making people want to move, you got them wiggling in their seat. Excuse me, guys. And you got to understand what it is that people need to hear. And that's going to get the party, keep that party cranking, keep people on there, oh man, I got to dance. These are just little things that as a DJ we have to pay attention to. So what I want to leave behind in 2023 is the argument, because I'm going down a rabbit hole here, is the argument that somehow the newer generation, the younger neo steppers, need to hear something different, as though they weren't hearing something different. It's just, and also remember this too. In this community, you have different factions of steppers. You can go to the grand ballroom on certain nights, and if you're part of the younger generation, you're just not going to fit in. I mean, let's just keep it 100. And those people do not want to hear certain music. So bottom line is, know your crowd. I had a conversation with someone today about something very similar, and we talked about another thing that I'm witnessing right now, and this is something I want you all to pay attention to. There are a lot of other dance genres that seemingly are piggybacking off of stepping, and there are a lot of mixed parties that are coming down the pipe. You have people that are mixing the two-step, swing out, that are mixing now even line dance. And the line dance is more or less, in my opinion, and this is just my personal opinion, is more acceptable, because that is a break in the steppers set to give people sort of a rest, if you will. The thing is, when we do these mixed sets, depending on dance style, it can be a little hectic. I heard of a set recently where the swing out people didn't want to hear the steppers music, and the stepping people didn't want to hear the swing out music, and it just becomes a thing. And my thing is this: if you know that you're going to a set with a certain type of music, don't complain. You know what you signed up for. You don't have to go. You just don't. You don't have to be there. If you like hip hop, they got clubs for that. If you like house, they got clubs for that. If you like stepping, there's the stepper set. But don't come to the stepper set complaining because you can't hear hip hop. Don't come to the hip hop set complaining because they're not playing steppers music. Give it a break, man. Let's see. Will says a lot of people want you to play songs. To stop that, just ask them to tip for a song. It's way too open. It's a way to open their mind to something different. Yeah, but again, I try not to be too rigid in what I do, but y'all know I'm diehard. I'm diehard when it comes to the stepping. I mean, that's just the bottom line. I know how to play other music, and I do play other music at those type of sets. If I'm playing a wedding, I play the music that they want. If I'm playing a birthday party, I play that type of music. If I'm playing a stepper set, I'm playing steppers music. There is a traditional style of music that we listen to. There is a particular vibe that we need in order to dance to a stepper set. I know everybody got their big ego and they go around, I can dance, I can step to anything. Yeah, you can, but do you want to? Do you really want to do that? Do you want to be forced to do that? I don't. I want to dance to steppers music. I want to step to steppers music. That's it. Dave Max, what's happening, my man? Coming through. Yeah, Dave, you know what? I'm gonna need you to do some more videos, man. You're doing some fantastic work, and you put a lot of good information out there. I'm enjoying you, brother. So keep up the good work with your podcasting and doing your thing. So everybody has their preferences, but you can't have everything. And again, if you're at a stepper set, I think you should expect steppers music. That's just me. So that's something I'd like to see left behind in 2024. Tell me what some of you guys want to see left behind in 2023. I'm sorry, I said 2024. In 2023, moving forward into this year, because there's always room for improvement. We can always do a lot better. In the meantime, I got a question for you guys, and I want you guys to tell me what your thoughts are. Now, everybody's stepping journey began somewhere. All of us started somewhere. At some time, we took our first steps. From that time to this, now some of you guys been around longer than others. Some of us have a lifetime in it. You know, we have our memories and our times and the people that we looked up to in the dance and that sort of thing and our journeys and experiences. What I want to know from you guys, feel free to chime in. And I'm even open to taking, now I know I'm not, this camera's not on. I want to know from you guys, based on your journey, your personal experience in the dance, what would you change from that would make you feel as though you would have been better off, or something that you did not need, or something that somebody gave you too much of, or misunderstandings, misinformation, any of that? Tell us what your thoughts are in regard to what you would do different. Adrian Banfield Norris says, leave behind having to wear specific colors. We are adults. Stepper sharp is all we need to hear, and we know how to dress. You know what? I'm kind of swaying toward you, Adrian, on that one, because I was just complaining the other day about something that I'm getting ready to, I got to go buy for an event coming up. And, you know, I'm kind of messed up like that. I got that Virgo OCD. I got to always be in line like everybody else. But I do think that people are growing very tired of the themed events. Now that's just my opinion, but I do think that is something that people are moving, you know, and it's not, I don't want to say it's tacky to show up at an event that has a theme and you're not in theme, because I have seen people do some stuff that, you know, you kind of be like, okay, you know, they'll just show up in whatever. And I personally think that's kind of rude, but I also think it's a little bit of a stretch sometimes for people to ask for the different colors and different things for the events. I agree, Adrian. Stepper sharp should suffice. But, Adrian, here's the problem. We live in a new generation. And I remember a time where we did not have to make the point of being stepper sharp. Why? Because we was already sharp. Like, it was weird for me when I moved from the city back in the 90s, when I left Chicago and I moved to different places, and I would simply have on some nice slacks, nice ass pair of shoes, and a nice, you know, linen shirt or something. People, oh my God, you're so clean. Where are you going? Oh my God. Like, what? Like, this is casual where I come from. And it's just weird for me now, because we're at a place where people just don't dress anymore. And so you come to the set, you know, people got on jeans, people got on, you know, combat boots and T-shirts and that sort of thing. And when I was coming up around the stepping game, just around Chicago, period, because there was no like stepping game. It was us being out doing what we do, and that was just a natural part of what we did. But you didn't go to no club in Chicago unless you was going to a house party. You wasn't getting in if you didn't have on hard bottom shoes. And it's a couple of places you had to have on a jacket. You weren't getting in. You wasn't wearing no baseball hats, none of that. So we're living in a different time, and I agree about the stepper sharp part. But the problem is, I think the idea of stepper sharp has escaped some folks. And they, in their mind, like I know a guy from New York, and we had a discussion one time, this was years ago, and he just swore up and down, if you had on a pair of Timberlands, you was clean. That's a New York thing. I can't see it. Yes, who said that? Yes, Diane Dabney, absolutely, thank you. She said, we just dressed. No one told us to be sharp. Exactly. We put on clothes. Like, that was the thing. It was like, I didn't even, like, as an adult, I didn't even have any gym shoes. For those of you who are not from Chicago, y'all call them tennis shoes. I didn't have no gym shoes until I moved out of the city. I didn't have any use for them. I'm not going to the gym. We wore shoes. I had a wardrobe of shoes. So, Adrian, thank you for that comment, and you are absolutely on point with that one. I'm with you on that one. Um, who is this said that his journey began? I bet I know who said that. I had to go back down. Yep, Dennis Howard Hodges. He said his journey began in August of 1967 in the basement in the Wild Hunnets. Wow, wow. That's right. See, in case y'all be wondering when I say wow, wow, for those of you who don't know, you're not from Chicago, that's the Wild Hunnets, which I still have stakes in. Anyway, let me clarify. Anything past 99th Street, 100 and up, is considered the Wild Hunnets. That's the street addresses. What else? Let's see. Someone says, I want to leave behind $30 day parties, but that may be asking too much in these times. I'm not against that one either. Let's talk about the prices of events these days. Now, I grant you, costs to do events is going up, like everything else around us. But I had a conversation with someone today, and I'm glad you brought that up because now I'm going to make a statement. How about people? Hey, Avis Tucker, that's my girl right there, y'all. Hey, Susu. How about we just stop giving sets for the sake of giving sets? Look, y'all. First of all, there are way too many sets going on across this country. Local sets, cool, because you should be, and this is what should be the rule within your own city. Build your community first. Then when your community is solid and y'all are doing y'all's thing, expand to a regional event. Make it a little bit bigger so people from the surrounding states or the little areas, the cities, whatever around you, come. Then say, you know what? We got such a wonderful thing going on. Our community is so strong. Let's show the rest of the country how strong we are in this region. Let's throw a national set. And be able to work together collectively to make that happen. All this willy-nilly, we're going to throw a set in for this reason. We're going to throw a set for that reason. Y'all know how many sets I've been to? And the locals don't even show up. Does anybody else find anything wrong with that? Your numbers, and back to this, then going back to the number thing, y'all know I have a saying, and I'm gonna put it on screen right now. Never measure an event by the quantity of the people in attendance, but by the quality of memories you create with the people who are present. That is critically important, y'all. Because why give a set just for the sake of giving it? I'm going to tell you why. A lot of people do it. Why? For the check. And most of the time, they ain't even going to get no check. If we're going to keep it 100, because most sets don't make the money that people think that these sets make. You have to be a smart business person first before you can be a good promoter. You have to be a people person. There are people out here trying to give sets, and their customer service and ability to build relationships sucks. Diane Dabney, I'm glad you're on here. Diane Dabney is a promoter extraordinaire. Her and her husband give their event. They are relationship builders. Understand how important that is. When you're going to give an event, have the people around you be people that you actually care how they feel when they come to partake in your event. Care enough to understand that these people are spending their money. Care enough that These people are willing to get on an airplane and come to your city, get a hotel room, rent a car, buy clothes, support the local economy by eating the food. Y'all, these people, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't know where this moniker came from, this whole heavy hitter thing. I don't know who made that up. I don't know where it came from. I've never cared for it. I think it's stupid. But you want to know who the real heavy hitters are? And this is a quote of my man Stretch Alex. Y'all are the real heavy hitters. The people who spend that money, those are the heavy hitters. Do y'all understand? When you see people at these sets, that they have spent their hard-earned money, because let's keep it 100. For the amount of money that we spend going stepping around the country all year long, if you stack that money up for that year, let's just say you decided, well, these 4 events I was going to go to this year, or these 5 events I was going to go to this year, because the average person only goes between 3 and 5 events for those who travel. At a minimum, $1,000. We've done that before. We've broken numbers down. We've done it on shows before. We broke down the whole numbers, and we already know most of the time you're going to spend $1,000. So if you take that $5,000, $4,000, $5,000 at the end of the year and decide you can go on a cruise, you can go, you know how many different places you can go and things you could do with that money. You could add something to your house. You could do a whole bunch of things. But keep in mind that these people are willing to spend that money with you, a promoter. Be gracious enough to be thankful that these people are willing to do that. It's something to be said for that. So all I'm saying, if you're going to be giving events in your city, treat the people right. Treat the people like you appreciate the fact that they're coming to your city and they're going to spend that money with you and do what they're going to do with you. Wise Cat says, Sanji Stewart says she spent $24,000 this year traveling for stepping. I believe it because let me tell you, a few years ago, matter of fact, pre-COVID, myself and the producer lady, Miss Poppy, we sat back and we did the math on our travels for 1 year, and I believe it came out to somewhere around between 20 and 30,000, because it's 2 of us. And when you when I said 5,000, I was being generous, mostly because you want to try and and I'm thinking in terms of single individuals. When a single person travels, you already got airfare. If you're smart and you get your airfares early, you can usually get to go to and from for in the $300 neighborhood. And we did an entire show, y'all go back and look. We did an entire show on how to save money while traveling, stepping. I did a whole show where we gave tips and tricks on how to cut corners so that you could go to these sets and save $1. I did a whole show about it. But fact is, time you get done, airfare, clothes, go back to clothes. Most people, well, I don't know about the ladies, but men's clothes are not inexpensive. They're very expensive. One pair of shoes can easily cost us anywhere between, I've seen shoes, $59, $60, all the way up to $2,000, $3,000, depending on what you're doing. And that's if you got to buy them, because most times, the guy, we tend to have the shoes we need already, but still. Time you get done buying your decent pair of slacks, a decent pair of men's slacks gonna cost you $100 to begin with. And the list goes on. By the time we get done, most of the time, ladies, when y'all looking at these guys and they dressed and they got on nice shoes, nice watch, nice hat, nice shirt, nice slacks, jacket, suit, you looking at anywhere on the low, you looking at a minimum $200 up to $3,000 to $5,000. Made clothes, guys getting their suits cut. You talking about anywhere between $300 and a couple of $1,000. When you see these guys in these custom suits, that ain't cheap. That costs money. So I'm saying all that to say, just in clothes alone, by the time you get done, you already done hit the $1,000 mark, potentially. Then you're dealing with Like I said, the airfare, if you're fortunate enough, one person, you'll get about 150. I haven't seen any of those real cheap airfares lately. I don't know, but you, on the average, you're gonna spend $300 going back and to and from. That's there and back, 150 each way. Then, now, Jan P. Wilson said the brims alone, if it's decent, it will cost you guys. Yes, ma'am. Jan, there's a guy, and I want to tell y'all about him. There's a guy named Brian Forbes. He's got my name. We have the same name. He was actually a year older than me by one day. Lives out in California. Y'all check him out. Look him up on Facebook. That man makes some of the baddest damn hats you ever seen in your life. And his hats, 300 to 500 off the rip. Off the rip. Badass hats. But time you get done with your flight, 300. If you get there, even if you don't rent a car, if you're not going and you're not in the same location as the event, or you want to go somewhere, Uber. We know Uber ain't cheap no more. Food, if you want to eat something outside of where you are, even if you're eating inside the hotel food is not cheap. More money. This list, by the time you get done a la carte, nickel and diming yourself to death, I don't care who you are, $1,000 or real close to it. One event, one person. Now, if you like me and you got two people, then you're going to have to deal with double that. And that's just simple as that. You got double the cost. So at a minimum, we talking, $1,000, between $1,000 and $2,000, or at least $1,500 because if you rent a car, you ain't got to both rent it. But you see where I'm going with this. Anyway, these are the people that are the heavy hitters. These are the people that make the difference in your set. Now the topic came up where people were talking about when we see, and I'll tell you, here's another thing I would like to see left in 2023 for my promoters. When you giving your sets, what's up with all of the all-star lineups? Look, my thing is, if you gotta put certain faces and certain DJs on your flyer, maybe your set ain't that good. If you have to use certain people's faces as an attraction to your set, maybe you haven't built good relationships among the people that you should be building with, because your set should be able to sustain itself without the necessity of certain individuals being there for it to be attractive to other people. What does that say about you as a promoter? Because I guarantee you, Diane Dabney don't have to put nobody on a flyer to get people in her door. Why? Because Diane and Mike Dabney build relationships. I see you, Reggie Miles. What's happening, my man? Reggie said he wanna get past the hour-long parts without no walking. We working on that, Reggie. That's coming. Hey, Darlene Bridges, Moon. Look, what's up, Riri? If you can't attract your local people to your set without having 15 names on your flyer that says, oh, so-and-so gonna be here and so-and-so gonna be here. Oh, look, more people gonna come because those people come. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with the attraction of it all, but that shouldn't be the attraction to your set. It should be an enhancement of what you got. But let's keep it real. We know what it is. Because keeping it 100, a lot of y'all have come to sets because of Inside Stepping. And we appreciate you for that. And so do the promoters who put Inside Stepping make Inside Stepping a part of their event. Absolutely. But the thing is, they don't come just because they say, Oh, inside step. They come because of our relationships, because of the the idea that they know. Because the way I talk about sets here, you're gonna be in good company, and that's what people want. We come together to fellowship. This is a partner dance, full of 3-minute romances. Let's keep it 100, y'all. We come to be around good people. I'm not saying that the people that they use as attractions on the flyers are not good people, but you should be able to make your set what it is without the need for those faces. Now, there are a lot of events coming up where people have gotten away from that and are starting to get away from that. And I think it's a good thing. Now, I'm not saying these people, but they should be there in a capacity that is relevant, not just there. Brenda Roberts says the DJ really does matter. Brenda Roberts, I agree with you 100%. The DJ is everything. But let me tell you something about that. There are some DJs out here that don't get the recognition that they should get because they're better than a lot of the ones that are so damn popular. Let's keep it 100. I know some. There are some DJs that are out here that are, oh man, they, everybody just blows them up. In my personal opinion, they ain't that good. They all right. They can keep the party going, but they ain't killing the game. I know some DJs that get no airplay. That's cold. And everybody should be using them. It's just my opinion. As a DJ and somebody that's been around this thing for a very long time, I know good stepper music when I hear it. As a consumer, period, point blank, I know what I'm listening to. Joyce, let me see. Jan Wilson says, and for the ladies, a sparkly t-shirt and jeans is not stepper sharp. No harm intended. Like Brian Forbes, I'm from Chicago. It's understood. If you're going to a stepper set, you're going to be sharp, period. And I know trends and styles change, but stepper sharp is what it is. Absolutely right. Joyce Taylor says, Diane, DJs be on point, and Diane is very friendly and speak to everyone. Some promoters, if you are not what they call a heavy hitter, will pass you like a sign. Absolutely correct. I agree with you, and that is, again, part of the problem. It is, I tell you, there are promoters out here who are people. They understand that it is the people that make the set. It is the people that make inside stepping. Without y'all, we don't have this platform. However, I need to understand this, and some of you have heard me say this before, and I'm going to say it again. I do inside stepping for y'all. This ain't even for me. I struggle today to even come up with, because like right now, there ain't a whole lot going on in the steppers world, believe it or not. Well, let me put it this way. There's a lot going on, but ain't nothing we need to be talking about publicly. There's always something going on. But the fact is, I do this show because I know that people need information when it comes to this dance. I grew tired years ago. I grew tired of watching people get misinformed, lied to, lied about, lied on, talked about, and so on. And so what the purpose here is for me to, if nothing else, provide the people who frequent this show with information, with food for thought, with points of reference. That means that when somebody is out here doing wrong, trying to sell you something, trying to tell you something that's wrong, I'm an open door. This show describes and discusses behaviors, patterns, trends, stupidity. And when you listen to this show, you can look at it and say, you know what? Brian Forbes said this, and this. So that when you hear it, you say, he told us to watch out for that. Now, it ain't got to be nobody in particular. But when people start coming up with all of these crazy ideas, and trying to sell you on them, and you don't know any better because you green. And let me tell you something, going back, I had a conversation with someone the other night, and that's what made me come up with the part of it and to ask you guys if you could go back and change the thing, something about your journey and stepping, what would it be? And she told me, having been so green when she started, there was so much that she didn't know, that there's a lot of things she would have done different. And the part about not having the information, you make choices and decisions about your journey and stepping based on what you know. And the problem is, early on, people outside of the city of Chicago, is a lot that they didn't know because there's nowhere for them to have anything to compare it to. So that's why we have Inside Stepping, because I'm going to put information out there that's going to allow you to make a choice. Now, if you choose to go down a road and deal with snake oil salesmen and shysters, that's on you. Because trust me when I tell you, we got some. That's your choice. But you can't say that the information wasn't provided for you to decide from. Now, there's no excuse. Now, even though you're green, you got to be able to have somewhere to turn that is Inside Stepping for you to be able to turn to and say, hey, let me go check and see what the subject matter is or what was talked about. You can go back and research on YouTube. And I always encourage you guys to tune in on YouTube. I mean, Facebook is cool, but YouTube is where the majority of our audience comes in at. But the reason I do that is because, first of all, it gives you an opportunity to sit and watch this show on your television at home rather than on your cell phone or your tablet, but also gives you an opportunity to go back and research topics, subjects, and information that we've done on this show. There are a couple of hundred Inside Stepping shows out there. You can go back and just go through those archives and find all kinds of good stuff about different subject matter and things that have gone on around the Steppers community. Different interviews, history, information. It's there. If it ain't there, all y'all got to do is suggest to me what it is that you want to see, what you want to hear, who you want to hear from. We'll get it done. We have access. Why do we have access? Because we have relationships. That is a critical item in the Steppers community. And as long as we continue to fellowship with one another and build good, strong relationships, baby, we're going to be beautiful around here. We're going to be all right. William Moore say his Inside Stepping hoodie came handy up there in Connecticut. I know it did, brother. You up there in that good stuff, in the white clouds, that snow. Yeah. Lynn John says, I sure wish I knew about Inside Stepping when I first started to step back in 2016. Well, Inside Stepping was not a thing in 2016. And this is why. There were other, there's actually, matter of fact, prior to this podcast, there was a magazine called Inside Stepping. Lots of information there. There were other stepping outlets where information was available. And unfortunately, many of them are not available these days. The technology has gotten better and it has changed some more. But simple fact is, that's why I'm doing this. The internet is a beast, y'all. And once you put it out there, it stays out there. So no matter what happens to me or anything moving forward, as long as YouTube is available or something similar, this information will be there. And I consistently record each and every single episode live in studio and outside studio. So I've got all of them. I keep them handy just in case, even the shows that we've had to take down, stuff like that. Deborah LJ is checking in from Orland Park, Illinois. Hey, Deborah. My man said, back to Ohio, David Johnson, Super Dave in the house. What's happening? Super Dave, tell Sweet Carolyn we said what's happening. Jerome Cook, my man, he said he's from Chicago. Hey, Selena, I see you. Miss you, girl. Robert Britt, what's up, cuz? That's my cousin right there, y'all. Danny Stone from the ATL in the house. So the bottom line is, the whole purpose for this show is to make sure that the information is made available. Um, let's see. Wise Cat says she wants to leave in 2023, going to parties where most of the tables are reserved, mainly the tables closer to the floor. Sometimes we can't even get a seat. Well, Wise Cat, my dear, the only thing I can tell you about that is while these parties are intended for our social gratification, there has to be some business that takes place as well. That is part of the business. Now, I don't necessarily agree, and I will give shouts out to my man, Irie Israel, the cat in the hat, who, whenever he gave his Stepaganza set, the seats were not reservable. It was first come, first serve, because you got some folks that like to make them grand entrances. However, in the name of longevity, sometimes it's necessary for people to spend a little bit of extra money, VIP kind of stuff, and get those good seats, the front row seats, the seats up, near the stage, if you will. I can't, I don't have a heaven or a hell to put a promoter in for that particular thing. Now, I will also say this. There are promoters who make it their business to make sure that each and every lady in the building gets a dance. Shout out to my man, Ted Williams, the boss over there in Tiny Rock, Arkansas. When he does his Crush and Cream event, he literally stops the party at one point and has all the gentlemen come to the floor, and they go from the east part of the room to the south part of the room, the west part of the room, north part of the room, and they make sure that each and every woman gets a dance and every hand has been touched. And I particularly like that because I think that it shows the kind of care as to making sure that everybody gets their dance in. All the ladies, because a lot of women, that's another thing I want to see left in 2023. The ladies who come and spend all of this time and money of coming to these sets, clothes and the whole nine, and they come in and they don't get to dance. They might get one or two dances. For my dancing fellas, y'all keep this in mind. Gentlemen, these ladies that are sitting in the back of the room, they want to dance too. No, they can't stand up by the floor all night sometimes. They're wearing shoes that might not be a good idea for them to be standing up there like that. There are a lot of things that come into play. Keep these little small things in mind as we're at our sets and we're trying to enjoy one another. Hey, Trina Allure, I see you in the building. Reggie Miles, what's happening, my man? I see you over there doing your thing with the walking classes, man. Keep doing the good, keep up the good work, brother. Dallas Brown in the building, I see you. Mary Alicia Robinson, how are you, my dear? Let's see. Chocolate Girl Productions, Barbara Hawk makes sure that all females get a dance. Excellent, excellent. And see, that's what I'm talking about. We have to be more, and I'm constantly telling y'all this, just be more mindful of one another in these events and take care of each other, y'all. We did last week's show. For those of you who did not see last week's show, I'm going to want you to go back and pay attention to the areas where I discussed safety. We talked about people going to these sets and making sure that we have each other's back, making sure that we're keeping up with our dance brethren and sisters, making sure that for the ladies who do travel alone, and there are many, gentlemen as well, if you haven't seen them that day, check on them, make sure they're okay. We've seen where, lately, not lately, but I mean, hell, ain't none of us getting no younger, but we make sure that people are kept up with, if you will. We had a situation where a young lady was a little bit under the weather and she wasn't able to get out of bed. Yes, they had to reach out to the emergency services to have her taken to the hospital. She is doing fine now, thankfully. But the point was, fortunately, as she was in her room alone, someone was checking for her. Now, what if somebody had not been there checking for her? You know, any of us, you know, don't be afraid to let somebody know where you are and what's going on. That's just one thing. So let's leave selfishness in 2023 as much as we possibly can, because we do have, unfortunately, quite a few very selfish folks around us. And, it is what it is. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you, Mary Alicia Robinson. She says, thank you ever so much, Brian Forbes. We appreciate you. And I appreciate you guys, because y'all make it possible. And, y'all, you know what? This audience, y'all keep me lifted. I gotta give shout out to Inside Stepping family, because y'all make it possible for me to do this. You make it easier for me to do this. It doesn't feel too much work. Let me put it that way. When you do stuff like this, there's one very important thing, and this applies to my promoters as well. And there's one word, and there's one thing that we must all keep in mind and must all remember when it comes to wanting to be a part of the business side of stepping. Be it broadcasting, podcasting, shows. We have several now, very good ones, by the way. When it comes to promoting events, when it comes to being a DJ, when it comes to being an instructor, any of these entities that you are wanting to or embarking upon, there's one very important word that you must always adhere to, no matter what, if you intend to be relevant or even respected in regard to being trusted. Consistency. You must be consistent. Not only must you be consistent, but you must exercise integrity in your consistency. One thing about me, there are people on this live right now who know me and have known me for decades. There are people on this live who've only known me for a year, 6 months. If you put those two people in a room and you bring my name up, you're going to get one thing: consistency. You're going to get that ain't nothing changed about me. What you see is what you get all the time. Same thing, period. That is what you're going to get. Now, and this is why I am lucky to have and blessed to have the ability to bring the information to you all with integrity, and that when I say something, it's accurate and it's the truth. I'd let you know when my opinion is something separate from facts. Rarely do the two separate. However, you're going to get consistency from me. If I can't give you nothing else, you're going to get that. And it's always going to be the same. You're going to get the same dude, same attitude. I don't flip. And that's just me. So as long as I can remain consistent and show integrity, I'm going to continue to do that. And we're going to make it do what it do, baby. Hey, Karen Fuller, I see you. Thank you, Beamer Johnson. I appreciate you, my dear. Lorenzo Patterson in the house. Yep. So let's see. Wise Cat said, there were ladies standing around in heels and the men were sitting and wouldn't even share seats. One man got up to get a seat and someone sat in it. He asked them to move. I even offered my seat to a gentleman that was standing for a long time whose foot was bothering him. He declined, but when a seat opened up, I went and got him. Well, Wise Cat, we thank you for that. But I actually talked about this last week on the show when we were discussing some of the health stuff in stepping. Fellas, I know some of y'all, you're a little pimped out. You did. But it's always a good idea to let these ladies sit. It's as simple as that. I am bothered by the fact that we live in a time now where gentlemen, and I use the term loosely, do not behave the way I customarily was taught to behave around ladies. Excuse me. I know times have changed, and I know we got all these independent women, and they don't need no man, and yeah, all that stuff. But fellas, have some self-respect, even if they act crazy or whatever, grateful, ungrateful, whatever. It doesn't matter. Have some self-respect. That's all I'm saying. Even if she don't want the damn seat, offer it anyway. That's just me. I cannot, I will not sit and watch a lady stand, especially if she got on high heels. I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. It just goes against everything I stand for. That's just me. Now, under different circumstances in years past, maybe, but that's another story for another day. But no, fellas, you gotta relinquish these seats. You gotta let these ladies sit down. When you see someone like Wise Cat who offered a man a seat, who was obviously in a medical situation, what's wrong with us helping each other, y'all? What's wrong with displaying decorum? Do we even use that word anymore? Does anybody know what decorum means? Shall we get out our thesaurus and our dictionary? Portman Lochner says, I am a gentleman. Ask ladies in every sense of the word. Country boy. Yep. Well, Locke, I already know you are. I see how you get down. Locke is one cool dude, y'all. If you ain't never met Locke, Portman Lochner, if you ain't never met that dude, you need to meet that dude. Good people right there. Louisa Lowe. You're ready for the collaboration in Austin. Louisa Lowe, there will be no collaboration in Austin this year. I apologize to you. You still remember the Charlie horse from dancing so much that Saturday night. It was well worth it. I love the collaboration of you guys. Well, Louisa, I'm going to have to bring you up to speed on that. That particular event is no longer a collaboration event, and we will not be participating in that. However, I will bring you up to speed on what is happening next. So stay tuned. My apologies, because that actually was a very good event. Such a shame. Anyway, Jamal Jua Bay Brown, what's happening? Brown Bay, I apologize, sir. What's up? I see you just called my phone, man. I'm going to box your ears, bro. William Owens, the collaboration is real. So, ladies and gentlemen, I guess we're gonna get ready to put it on down. But I just wanted to have this conversation tonight because, just a food for thought. Every now and then, I just like to talk to y'all and see what's happening, and get some feedback and find out where everybody's head is so we know what we're going to do. So we know how to move and, to help somebody's journey be that much smoother and that much, easier so that we can coexist and continue to touch each other's hands and have our 3-minute romances out there on that floor and just enjoy life, man, and do it on a budget. I'm kidding. Some of y'all gonna be on some of look, some people know how to move around this thing without breaking the bank. If you're in the Texas area, next weekend, y'all. Wait a minute, what's today? Yeah, next weekend. Houston, Texas, third weekend. Man, listen, it's going down. We about to turn up. And I got we talk about celebrity steppers coming through. We got a couple that's going to be in Houston next week. Now, Friday night, I'll be spinning at the studio. My man, Daryl Smooth Greenwood, the Steppers Lounge, him and Ron Brown. It's Daryl's birthday. I will be spinning that set. It's going down in Houston next Friday, y'all. Saturday is Faces of Houston. Dang, I ain't got the flyer in front of me. Just know it's on and cracking. Myron the R will be spinning we'll be on the ones and twos on Saturday. It's going down. We gonna tear Houston down next week. Y'all might as well get ready for that. Also, I know it's some other stuff I'm forgetting. But anyway, Heritage Ball. Inside Stepping will be broadcasting live from the Heritage Ball. We will be doing the thing out there. It is going down. We will, Lynn John says, so happy to see Heritage Ball coming back. Yes. Yep. Well, Lynn John, we will be in the building. We're going to be doing the damn thing down there. We're going to turn it up. We even bought some new equipment. we coming like CNN to the Heritage Ball, Jack. It's going down. And then, of course, we got Phoenix Jam, y'all. Angie Fain out there in Phoenix. That'll be in April. See who we got. In Black and Bling, 1st of May. Let me see what else we got. We got a bunch of events coming up. So y'all stay tuned. We're going to put everything out there. We're going to make sure that you all know where we're going to be and what's going to be happening. And we're looking forward to, some of y'all that we haven't met, looking forward to laying eyeballs on you. We see you on the live and on the line, and we appreciate your participation. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us and all that good stuff. And, man, all I can tell you is, man, I love my Inside Stepping family, and I just look forward to the future. So let's leave all the nonsense in 2023. Let's move forward with a positive and powerful attitude for 2024. Let's love on each other. Let's take care of each other, y'all. I'm telling you, we gotta take care of each other. We're not getting no younger. We gotta take care of each other. We gotta look out for one another. If you ain't got no reason to be mad at somebody, don't be. And even if you do have a reason, don't be. And I'm talking crazy because I'm always mad at somebody. But I'm a work in progress, y'all. What can I tell you? I'm trying to get better. That's all I can tell you. I'm trying to do better. Shit. But we'll see what happens. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. All right, y'all. Before I go, I'm gonna put this up one more time because I want this to sink in. Never measure an event by the quantity of the people in attendance, but by the quality of memories you create with the people who are present. Y'all don't forget that. Because it ain't about how many people there. It's about how the people there love on you and how you love on them back. It'll be all right. Let me see what I got here. That's just the bottom line. So, I love y'all. I want everybody to have yourselves a great week. Don't forget, y'all, we're going to be in Houston next week. If you in the area, you can come. I promise you, it's going to be a dope weekend. The flyer is on my page, and it is on the Inside Stepping page, and we will be bumping that up as well. So, y'all come through and hang out with your boy. Friday night, I'm tearing the roof off the studio. I'm just telling y'all now, the studio finna have a sunroof because I'm ripping it up. I'm coming hard because that's my boy birthday, and he's one of the people that helped me in my DJ journey, and I'm going to show him that he did a good thing when he put his hands on me doing this DJ thing. All right, y'all. Have a great night. I love you, and we out of here. The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of its host, Urban Arts Enterprises, its advertisers, or affiliates, and are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent. Good night.